Hi, we're back with Piano Method Level 1A. And today we're looking at page 38, Clock Song. And this incorporates something a little new for this class. It's harmonic intervals, right, which you've been working on in the theory, but this is the first time we're playing them. Basically, you have two notes at the same time, and they're usually stacked vertically, so you know to play them together. The second is just a little, one note's pushed to the side, just because I can't stack them physically, then they just get mushy. Right, but you do play them together because they're touching each other, right? So the seconds. When you're looking at these, the seconds always look like this: the third, the fourth, the fifth. So as you're playing them, you don't have to think about every letter. If you know that bottom one's a C and it's a second on top, you're just going to play a C and a second on top, right? If it's a C and a third, you're playing this, right? So you can feel these intervals instead of thinking about every single letter, right? That helps a little bit. So basically, all of these will have two notes at once. Right, sometimes it's the thumb plus something else, like these ones. These all have that middle C. Sometimes it's the pinky plus something else, right? That's F and G, that's E and G, D and G, but that G is on top. Sometimes it's just other notes, right? So just reading at least one and then figuring out your interval, right? And then same thing with the left hand. Sometimes the left hand has to do it. All right, so looking at the right hand where it starts, they give you some finger numbers to help you. This is middle C position. Right, so your right hand, that's F and G, so right, 4 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 5. So it's coordinating that. So what you're seeing, and they're all staccato, they've got those little dots. So F and G, but short, right, and then 3 and 5, and then 2 and 5. Right, so all those notes are short. Right, so when you're playing these, instead of pushing with your fingers, right, each finger is a different length, drop into it and then just bounce up. Right, so you're kind of grabbing the notes and then letting go. It's a little easier than trying to finger them. So as you're playing through these, you do have C and G together, right, 1 and 5, and then it just it's expanding and then collapsing again. Right, so it's basically the same notes each time. These two parts are the same, and then you have some single notes for a while, right? Into this line, same idea. Sometimes you're slurring them. Sometimes they're smooth like this. Sometimes they're short, right? Right, these are all staccato short notes, and then some more harmonic intervals here. So let's try just the right hand by itself. All right, so F and G together. So start with a rest, right? 1, 2, ready, go, rest. 3, 4, rest. 4, second line, rest. 3, 4, rest. 3, 4, smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, third line. And short. 1. Last line. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so not too bad, but just a lot of coordinating. So just practice that right hand by itself a bit to get used to that. Left hand, we are in, like we said, middle C position. That first note's a G, but they say fourth finger. So that will set you up, if you remember from some pieces before, with your thumb on middle C, right? If your fourth finger's on a G, it's basically an F position, but you can think about where that thumb is. Okay, so the left hand by itself, it's mostly G's, right? So that top space, right? All cows eat grass, right? It's the same note, same note, same note. These are all G's for a while. G, 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 until here it starts moving. Here's your middle C, and then sometimes you have those harmonic intervals, the two notes together in the left hand. So I would practice this part by itself, starting on the C, B, and then C and A, right? This will look like this. Left hand is a C, B, and then C and A together, and then B and G together. Right, so again, drop into those. It's a little easier if you do it this way, right? If you're trying to just do fingers, it gets rocky, right? Some fingers are shorter than others, so let your wrist do some of that work for you. All right, so hopefully that'll make sense. You do have in the left hand some ties here, C, so just hold on to that for 8 beats. Same thing here. This is 4 beats plus. The next line is 8. There's your other 4 beats for 8. then a rest, and then some single staccato notes, right? So just watch for the little dots. That means short. Okay, so let's do left hand by itself. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tie. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single notes. 2, 4. Right, double notes. Third line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Tie. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. Just to make sure this makes sense, that's the rest of that tie. It's just like a little tiny tie, but that means it's held over from before. Right, this is at the end of the last line of the page in the left hand. All right, so from the top with both hands, this is where it gets harder. Definitely just remember the left hand's a lot simpler, right? Mostly it's G's, right? Okay, so from the top, let me position this so you can see both my hands. Right, so we're in middle C position, like A. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Second line, 1. Smooth. Third line. Last line. Rest. And that's it. Thanks.